Okay folks, welcome back. This is your old pal Hondo doing another video on cleaning a ZEBCO fishing reel. This is on the older 404 reel, as you can see right here. Some rusty old 404, but it's still good to go. We're going to do a little bit of cleaning on it because it's ancient. And the tools you'll need for this is a 11 and 32 inch socket, maybe a pair of needle nose pliers, and a flathead screwdriver, and that's all. You'll need bearing grease and Vaseline maybe for the spinner, and WD-40 as always, and some oil. Okay, now that's said and done, we're going to take it apart. This is a really old 404. First thing you want to do is take the cover off of the 404 like so. Just spin it off, don't matter. Next thing you want to do is take off the spinner cone. Is a little flathead screwdriver part for that. If it doesn't come off with ease, spray a little bit of WD-40 on it and that should help it. It should come off really nice. Once you take it off, you just set the screw to the side, clean it later. Take the spinner cone off. As you can see, make sure everything works fine in it. We're going to have to clean all this anyways. It's like taking apart a 202, an older 202, very simple. Next thing you want to do is take off the handle with the socket wrench. You want a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey kind of thing. Take this off, and once you get it loose enough by hand tight, try to rip the socket off of it and then take it off and put it over here. Take the handle off. If it'll come off, doesn't want to quite come off. Ugh. Stuck on there. Come on, baby. There it goes. Now you take that off, stick it in the bath, and gently pull it out of the frame. Now you can tell this one's a lot older. It has the right here, it has this like anti-reverse right here. It has this little sleeve that goes into the anti-reverse like that. There's a little hole. So when you put it back together, you're going to have to put this, I don't know if you can see it, this little pen goes into this little hole right here, and this goes over it like that. So when we tear it apart, that's how you put it back together so you don't forget. We're going to have to take this whole thing apart to clean it. Next you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver. There's a pin right here you have to take off to get the spool off. Basically you just grab the pin, pull it out like that, and it just comes right out. Take it out and put it in the back, and take the spool off if you can. And there's the spool. It has a little bit of grease, but it is really dirty with the body. You just throw the body in there with it when you're cleaning it with a toothbrush or sometimes you need a wire brush if it's really bad. Now at this point you could move the anti-reverse switch out of the way to pull out the main gear, which goes right here. Throw that in the bath. And right here, this just should come out. Sometimes it doesn't, but that gear should come out, and you will need to oil this right here after you bathe it, because sometimes this drag knob will get stuck like Chuck, and that's mainly the Achilles heels of most of these old 404s, that these will rot off and break off. Okay, got the entire reel in the bath right here. If the parts are too crunchy, you know, you may want to use a brass brush to clean it. That's what we're going to use on the main gear parts, but right here we're going to use a toothbrush on that. Spray it all down with WD-40 as per usual on all sides. Everything gets WD-40'd. Gears mainly. Okay, it's probably all I need right there, WD-40 wise. Cleaned. Now we're going to wipe all the excess oil out of it from the WD-40. Just make sure there's no dirt or residue left on this reel. That way you clean these little grooves right here in the cover so they won't get dirt in them, so they'll close up on the reel better and the cover won't seize on the reel. Like I said, the cover's not in great shape, but it is in okay shape. Just clean all the excess oil out of there, excess oil on the, or any dirt residue on the spinner. Clean it out, just make sure there's no dirt in it. Clean the spool. And spool's cleaned off. Clean the body of the reel. Just any dirt or anything that's left over from the cleaning. On the other side, oh dang. And just clean it out really nice. Tricky part will be to put this reel back together again. Okay, we need a new rag here. Other one's dirty. Get that dirt out of there. Anything that's, dirt or grit or anything like that gets out of there. Sometimes you might want to take, I don't like using these, but take one of these Q-tips and just get in there and in the confined spots and pull out all the grit. If there's any that you can't get with your finger, and the rag, just like sweep it out of there if you can. And I only use this for cleanup. I don't use these to apply grease. Okay, that's done. And we're going to clean the body. sometimes. These get a lot of dirt in them too. And you'll just get the excess crud out of it. Get in there with that Q-tip and get the rest of that dirt out of there if you can, out of the trigger housing. Okay, that's good enough. I think that's plenty, and we'll wipe down the gears now. Basically all you want to do is just take the rag and wipe any of the excess dirt or old grit out of it. And yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I got most of the grease out of it. And right here, main gear shaft, you know, just wipe all the excess grit. If there was any dirt in there, wipe it off. Handle as well. Handle's looking good. I don't know if this is the original handle that went with it, but it seems to be okay. And the retaining pin to hold the spool in, just wipe it off. It's a little greasy. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to reassemble the reel now, show you how to do it. And I'm going to need some Vaseline and some bearing grease for the spinner, and bearing grease for the bearings and gears. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the gears back into place here, but we're going to have to grease the gears. So this is going to be a tricky spot. What you want to do right here is you get the main gear first, and then you put some grease on the inside right here where the gear goes. There is no bearings in this reel at all. I'm just going to cover this part right here with grease. And that's it. You don't want to cover this part right here with oil. What you want to cover right here in with the shaft is oil. So get your oil and cover this with oil. A drop should do, really. I mean, use your other finger that ain't got grease on it to coat it, and then basically you stick this back through the hole right here. You have to move this stupid little thing out of the way first. Put that back through the hole like that, and that should go in really nice. We'll have to grease this main gear, everything on it, all the way up to here. Just grease it. You know, you don't want to use a whole lot of grease. I mean, you just want to get enough grease on there for this to have an okay action. You don't want to like glob it with grease or anything. You know, you just want to put enough grease in these gears so it doesn't dry up while you're using it over the years. You know, right here, that's basically all the grease you really want to put in this thing. I mean, all the way up to the tip here, that's all you need to put grease on this thing right here. And then you put it straight dab in the middle, like so. Now, the trick is with this, is you got to line this right here, this little point right here, into the hole of the anti-reverse right here, and then push it down into the anti-reverse until it goes into the anti-reverse slot right here. It gets in that hole there. As you can see, there's a little hole there. Then you push this little part. I know, maybe I should have. I think that's it. I'm not too sure. Let's see. Yeah, I think that'll work. Yep. Yeah, put that over there like that, and that's pretty much how you do it. Simple as that. Make sure your mechanism works. You know, anti-reverse works before you put it back together. And switch it over, and it seems to be working. And it closes up. Okay, it's working. Now we're going to put it together. When you put this back on, now we're going to grease up the spool. We're going to use some Vaseline to do this. Grease the whole bottom of the spool like so with Vaseline, center of it. And On the inside of the reel too, we're going to do it with the Vaseline, just in the center right here, around the post, and all through right here, just to grease this part right here on the inside, so it has a nice little surface for the drag to move over and the spool to move over. Basically, that's all you want to put. You want to put the edged side down first into the spool, but you got to hold the bottom of the gears in so they don't fall out. And a little bit too much. Make sure too much crap on my fingers. Yeah, the drag should be working, but like I said, it's an old reel. And what you want to do after you get that on there, but you still got to hold the bottom out on this thing. And you want to put a little bit of Vaseline right here in this catch. You just put a little bit of Vaseline in there and just work it in there so it has something smooth. It makes it smooth for it to move on the spring and the stop mechanism. Okay, now what you want to do here is you want to put the pin back in. And you might be able to use a screwdriver to do this. Okay, we got it back in place. And it should be, make sure you check everything. There it goes. Okay, we got it back together. The drag's working right. Now we're going to put the spinner head back on of the reel. And just basically put the spinner head on it like so. If it goes on, it goes right on top like so. You want to get your screw with the bolt with the screw head in there, and basically you want to screw that back in with your flathead screwdriver, and you hold this down with your hands and just screw it in there tight. There you go. And that should be it. And we're going to put the body back into the reel. It goes in like so. Put right there, you put the handle crank in through this side here, and the drag should pop out. But you know what, I forgot to put oil on the drag, so we're going to put oil on that real quick. That way it has a way to work itself loose over time. And we're going to stick it back in here, and we're going to call it done. Alright. Come on, get in there. Sometimes it doesn't like to fit in there, but that's good to go. Now, you want to stick the handle back in like so. You stick the handle back in if it'll go. I mean, this is clean, it should go. Stick this on right here. The nut on there, and you want to tighten it up. You could use either a socket wrench. I'm just going to use the heel nose pliers to do it. Okay, it's tight as it's going to get. And we're going to stick the comb back on, and we'll call it done. Yep. Sometimes these go on a little odd. Best way I found to put them on there is go backwards until you hear it click, and then put the comb back on. And yeah, this thing works. It's like a brand new reel. Look at that. And the drag, I guess, might work eventually. If not, it'll get itself worked in there. Anti-reverse switch is working. Okay. There you go. I hope y'all like this tutorial on how to service a older 1970s or late 60s 404 ZEBCO reel. In-depth review of how to take it apart. If you find one of these at a flea market or your granddaddy's old reel and you want to take it apart to clean it so you can use it, that's how you do it. That's how you service these old reels. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Y'all take it easy. This has been your old pal Andrew Hondo on another how to service your fishing ZEBCO 4404 reel. This will work for 202s as well in the same era. They had the same anti-reverse setup. I hope y'all like this video. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. And y'all know what you can do. You put God first. He puts you first in your lives and His. And you know what else, YouTube? God loves you. So does Hondo. Peace.
Tell me pretty lies. Look me in the face. Tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.